This is Lenski here. Many of you probably aren't familiar with Unico and the Island of Magic, but you might remember it if you saw these clips.
It's my big brother!
Unico was a little anime feature film that aired on Disney at the dawn of the 90s. It was usually on around the holiday season, and repeat airings were rare. The VHS release has been long out of print, and as far as I know, it has yet to find a DVD release. I've slightly touched on this film in my top 10 obscure movies video, and I'm not going to go all out on it, as there's really not much to say, except that it's awesome. So here's the backstory. Like many anime shows, Unico started out as a manga series. Around the time the manga ended, a feature-length pilot was put together in order to propose an anime TV series. While the series didn't get picked up, 2 theatrical films were made in the early 80s. The first one, titled The Fantastic Adventures of Unico, here in the States, is really nothing special, although it reveals who Unico is, a baby unicorn with the power to bring happiness to everyone he comes into contact with. The gods believe that happiness should only be obtained by centuries of torment, trial, and bloodshed, and so they send the West Wind to banish Unico to the Hill of Oblivion. Bunch of assholes. The West Wind takes pity on Unico and instead takes him to a safe location. This is where the first film begins. The first movie is okay, but it's serialized, meaning several different adventures take place. At the end of the adventure, Unico's memory is wiped clean, just like C-3PO's at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh no.
So you can watch Island of Magic without having seen the first film. In this one, Unico is again dropped off on a strange island by the West Wind. How Carol Brady of her. He immediately meets this annoying cat who thinks he's fat shit, named Melvin the Magnificat.
I am Melvin Magnificat, and this is my forest!
Looks like something out of a Heathcliff cartoon. Anyway, for some reason they're assholes to him until they meet Toby, a magician. Toby turns all the animals of the forest into living puppets, but decides to spare Melvin because he thinks he'll make a good narc.
I'll serve you. I'll be your slave. I'll do anything you say. Really, I will. Really.
Perhaps you could be of use to me.
What kind of name is Melvin, anyway? Melvin. We're introduced to Toby's master, another round-looking character named Lord Kuruku. This guy used to scare the shit out of me as a kid. Just listen to his voice.
Hurry up and bring the living puppets to my island. And if I am pleased, I suppose I might teach you another magic trick.
Kuruku's ultimate plan is to turn all the people of the island into living puppets, and the animals were just test subjects. In the meantime, Unico befriends a little girl named Sherry, who actually turns out to be Toby's sister.
It's my big brother! He's come home!
Toby, is that you?
Toby eventually finds his family, which he left behind years ago to go learn magic. Kuruku finds them all gathered together and performs the task that Toby couldn't. Spineless bastard. Think how scary this scene would be to a 7-year-old kid. To save Sherry's parents and the rest of the town, Sherry and Unico go to find the Trojan horse, who reveals Kuruku's story. Kuruku used to be a puppet who was mistreated by his former masters and somehow gained a life and ambition of his own. It's never said how Kuruku came to life, but the story has a strange element of mystery that makes it kind of cool and surreal. Then there's this scene, which defies all logic. The animation is pretty good, but I think the movie just gave up at this point. And keep in mind, up until now, this was a puke-in-your-soup, I love you and you love me children's tale. That makes this scene all the more worthwhile. They make their way through Kuruku's palace, and at the end, Unico and Kuruku have a final showdown. As long as you don't pay attention to the over-sappy dialogue, the climax is pretty decent, not to mention violent, for a cartoon.
What are you talking about? This is more than a scratch.
But I had no idea. I hardly touched you. I'm sorry.
So that's Unico and the Island of Magic. If you can somehow get your hands on a VHS, a bootleg, or hell, clips on YouTube, you you might want to do yourself a service and check it out.